In chapter 1148 of One Piece, the Giants are given an ultimatum. Either burn down their library and school to comply with the government, or let their children be killed. Oda uses this conflict to ask us the question, what is worth protecting? And in this video, I'm going to answer the question using 3 characters, Ronya, Robin, and Gaban. In this chapter in particular, I feel like there's a lot of stakes and a lot of themes that can go unnoticed if you just look at it at face value. Let's start with the idea of sacrifice. Nobody represents that better in this chapter than Nico Robin. Despite Saul trying his hardest to still protect her as if she's that same little girl that he knew back then, things are different. Robin is on a Yonko crew now. She sees a little girl on the edge of a cliff with the weight of her whole entire culture's history on her back. And I feel like Robin can't help but relate in that situation. How is Robin not supposed to want to protect that? That's her. That's the same situation Robin has found herself in. Robin knows the pain that comes with not being able to protect history. Robin knows what happens when you try to make an alliance with the government, who are willing to do anything to keep history secret. An organization that may very well view your existence as a threat. Forget Egghead. This is the biggest example in all of One Piece of Robin having to face her trauma. The government is back doing exactly what they did to her in Ohara, but on a way bigger scale. Robin understands that protection comes with sacrifice, and for a long time, nobody is willing to sacrifice or put their hand out for Robin until she met Luffy. Robin didn't think that she deserved to live until she realized that there are people who are willing to put their lives on the line for her, to protect her. Throughout her life, Robin has been protected by everyone, and one thing that you can tell that she has learned is that protection is not a passive sport. You have to be willing to put in pain in order to protect what you truly do love. And that is just a rule of the world. Protection isn't as simple as just being a shield, because if it was, the Marines wouldn't be so corrupt. It's about giving up your own safety so someone else can keep their soul, so someone else can also protect what means a lot to them. When I see her slap Summers in the face, I don't feel like it's supposed to be interpreted as like a fight for glory or, oh, look at how strong Robin is. No, this is Robin protecting herself, and not protecting herself in like, oh, she's protecting herself, but she's protecting the child that she used to be. You know, we all want to grow up and be someone that our childhood self would be protected by. And seeing Robin doing that inspires me, because she could have just sat in Saul's beard and waited for anything to happen. Because in all honesty, in reality, Robin didn't stop anything. She didn't slow Summers down. He kept on counting. She didn't have to be put in so much pain, but that's who she is now. She is someone who is willing to sacrifice her life and put her life on the line for something greater than herself. And you know, protection isn't always just about action, and it's not just about what you're willing to sacrifice. It's also about what you refuse to do. And surprisingly, nobody in the chapter represents this more than Ronya. The Giants were told to burn their school and to burn their library, or watch this little girl fall to her death. And what does Ronya say to this? She says the school and the library could disappear, but I think that would hurt everyone. She chooses to protect something that she knows is much bigger than herself, her people's integrity and her people's freedom. Ronya understands something that to this day, many adults do not understand. That if you have to betray your values in order to survive, that is not called survival. Ronya knows that if she is saved, if the Giants listen to the government's commands, they will never be free. You can't just take away this education, this school that this child loved, and expect them to live a happy life, knowing that they will never be free to do that ever again. And when it comes to the idea of protection, Ronya teaches us a valuable lesson. Sometimes protecting something is not about being right. It's about choosing to not be wrong. Even in the face of danger, even when you are afraid, you cannot betray your values. For example, the God Knights are afraid. We know this. They're afraid of Nika. They're afraid of history. This is why they're doing so much to get rid of history, because they are scared. But due to them being afraid, they are willing to trade their morality. They are willing to throw their values out the door if that means they are safe. The same way that you cannot protect something if you are not willing to sacrifice for it, you cannot be comfortable within that protection if you do not have a strong moral compass. Look at the celestial dragons, people who care nothing about morality. Those are not people who you want to be like. Yes, they are protected. Yes, they are safe. But what kind of life are they living? Ronya knows that what the God Knights are doing is ultimately wrong. Them trying to eliminate history, them trying to erase schools is wrong. They are on the wrong side of history. That's why she chooses to stand against that despite her life being on the line. Because she is a smart girl. That history that has been passed down and sacrificed for holds weight. Because it is able to make this little girl truly powerful in the face of danger. So, what is worth protecting? Robin and Ronya both together answer that question. We protect what gives our lives meaning, our dreams, our culture, our loved ones. So when I ask you what is worth protecting, whatever comes to your head, you better be willing to sacrifice for it. And for your own sake, and so that you don't end up like the celestial dragons, I hope you stick to your values while you sacrifice for it. Before y'all go ahead and like and subscribe, there is one more character that needs to be talked about, and that is Gaban. Gaban is a man of legacy, right? He's seen the whole entire world, a man who has sailed with Roger himself, who knows the full history of the world. Him showing up at the end of this chapter is proof that the past is not dead. No matter how much the celestial dragons try to eliminate the history, no matter how much the government wants to erase what once was, the past is always going to show up, whether they like it or not. That is the one thing they will never be able to control. I don't think Gaban is only making that face because they took his son. I think he is furious at the fact that the government is trying to take what he fought for, what his captain fought for, right in front of him. Gaban is not only protecting his son and protecting Elbaf, he's protecting the legacy, he's protecting the future, and with legacy comes weight. Gaban being the one to have the strength to actually damage a God Knight says a lot. Outside of power scaling, it also says that in order to protect, in order to have this legacy, to protect something as big as the future, as big as history, you have to be more powerful than the forces that are against it. Whether that be emotionally powerful, physically powerful, you have to be able to protect by any means what you care about. Even if you sacrifice, even if you have morality, there is a certain amount of power that you must obtain in order to protect the ones that you care about. And that is something that Luffy has learned throughout his journey. We all know Luffy is willing to sacrifice. He also has the moral compass that is needed to really care about the people around him. But even that he learned was not enough. He chose to gain this power in order to protect what he cares about. So with that being said, now that you know what is worth protecting and what is needed to protect, I challenge you to put it into action. Make sure you like and subscribe, and please, 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 please protect what you care about.